morning, everyone. Plenty of beautiful sunlight coming in. No need for the external lights. And I think today, for my high notes videos, I'll be doing those over at my desk. And the main reason being, yesterday, I did them from the couch. I had to pull out an extra light, and that was a lot of light in my face. It hurt. It hurt my eyes like pretty badly. Could have been a sight worse though. If I hadn't been wearing shades, yeah, that really would have hurt. And I've been blind for a while. So anyway, fun. Speaking of high notes, this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, there will be another live stream. The dude I got to, the dude I needed to call, was apparently very receptive to the idea of showing up and doing the live stream in my place. I think you'll find him a lot of fun. So he will be introduced as part of this thing, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with him. And let me tell you, the guy can get a laugh out of you if nothing else. But you know what day it is. It is straight Tarot Tuesday, and that's why I'm laying out nothing but tarot cards from the Grand Luxe Tarot, or Tarot Grand Luxe, however they want to brand that thing. This is an absolutely gorgeous and well-produced deck. I do recommend it. Especially if you just love imagery that is striking and gorgeous. And this is. So, what do we need to know for today? Let's find out. Starting with you. You got that Seven of Swords thing going on. Seven of Swords. This could feel like someone is, or the thought that someone's taking something that is rightfully yours. But the question is, are they? Or does it just seem that way? Oftentimes we see where a person is. You know, if they're doing something, you know, they're like super good at something. We're not. And we keep thinking, damn, that dude's taking my place. Rather than thinking that's time to shift our perspective a little bit and rather ask that person how they do the things they do. How are they so efficient? How are they so strong in times where you're just like, you know, frustrated, falling apart? How do they keep it so calm, so level? Things like that. Because anyone who's doing something that seems like they're really taking your place, you know, they're where you should rightfully be. They're not necessarily your enemy. I'll tell you a little story at the end of this that I think you'll find very interesting. So, starting with the mind, got a King of Swords. So it's time to master our thoughts. And the fact that the King of Swords begins the mind is a super powerful card going into Page of Cups. Still thinking with that, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, it's time for us to really look at our, you know, how do we think about things versus how do we feel about them? There's nothing wrong with having a youthful perspective. It is having the thoughts of a total child that can kind of lead you in the wrong direction. And rounding it off with a Hermit. So the way to kind of balance the two of these out, that King of Swords and that Page of Cups, is to go inward, to meditate a little, really get a firm grasp on what it is you're thinking, what it is you believe, what it is that you're feeling. Because when you do that, then you start taking more of control. When you start taking control over your mind and what you're thinking, what you say starts making a lot more sense. It starts becoming more powerful. And leading into what you do, you start improving the things you do. So let's go into the physical and see what's going on. We do have temperance. I mean, again, look at the artwork on this card. It is beautiful. But with temperance, this is all things in moderation. So don't overdo it. If you're thinking about having, if you're thinking about eating a little unhealthy, you know, having that pizza or whatever, that's fine. Just don't eat the whole thing, right? Here we go. We have the moon. And the moon card is one that, this one symbolizes a lot of the scary things in the dark. And you can kind of see that. But this is a full moon. You are able to see those nasties. And you're able to avoid them if you can. Fight them if you must. But have the mental capacity to know which one. You know, definitely picking your battles there. And then over here, I want to say this is the best version of this card I've ever seen personally. We have justice. So you're balancing yourself, balancing your physical self. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely moderating, picking your battles, and of course, finding that balance. That's what justice is. Justice is about balance. When the scales tip too far in one direction, something needs to be restored over here to bring them back into perfect balance. That's the way it's always been. That's what justice is. Justice is not about revenge. Justice and revenge are not one and the same. Justice is restorative. That's the key thing. So, I can tell you there are plenty of people who got the wrong idea about justice. So let's look at your spirit and see what's going on. We got a Page of Swords. Now this is a great card in the spiritual sense because this one points more to faith than anything. And faith is viewed with a very youthful mentality. Again, not the mind of a child, but the mind of someone very young, someone very impressionable, someone who has a mind like a sponge. You see what I'm saying? In this case, you're looking for things that nourish your spirit, and it's best to take that very young approach to it. You know, approach it with a little bit of a beginner mindset, just always willing to learn. We also have a Ten of Cups, and this is a very much emotional abundance, that sort of almost family mentality. A lot of these tens have that kind of family feel, but this is home. This is where you feel most at home. This is where you can kind of enjoy yourself, kick back, let loose a little bit. You don't always have to adult there, not always. And then finally, we have a Ten of Wands. Now, with matters of faith, I can tell you this much. There's a lot of fire, there's a lot of energy, and if you look at this guy, it's still an abundance card, number 10, but this is what we call the good problem to have. Because when you have this issue, these are little crises of faith. Those tend to happen. They happen in every faith, no matter what they are. You're always going to question things. That's fine. That is perfectly normal. Sometimes you cannot always be strong. Sometimes you have to have a nice, good, you can't walk on your own too all the time. Sometimes you do need a staff that, how can I put this? Some solid support will do. and I'm looking at this. This is not necessarily a priest, but it could be someone in your own faith that is definitely very strong in it. They may not have all the answers, and the thing that you have to remember is it's okay not to have all the answers. But today you're looking really good. You do need some meditation. You just need to moderate yourself today. Don't overdo it. And really seek out that person that you look up to as a spiritual authority, because today it's about shifting this perspective. It's about letting go of that sort of jealousy. And there is a bit of jealousy to this. Hopefully, you're not the person stealing the swords. You're not stealing someone else's thoughts and things like that and going with them. Stealing ideas, never a good look. If someone's stealing yours, then it's time to, again, do the work. Master your thoughts and emotions. Learn how to maybe keep some things to yourself. Don't overshare. I can definitely see that. A lot of us tend to overshare, but this is more about kind of keeping some things to ourselves. And so you don't have to share every thought. You don't have to share every opinion. I don't. I'll share every opinion I have. And I don't always pop up with a disagreement. They're just things I keep to myself because they're just private thoughts. And I can definitely see that today. Maybe take a day off social media. Maybe don't blab everything all at once. Remember, two people can keep a secret if one of them's dead. Right? Right. Anyway, so I did promise you a story, and I'm going to tell you that story right now. So, there was a bird. That bird had a little bit of a problem. Bird got a late start flying south for the winter. And as he's flying, his wings become frozen. And he thinks, oh no, I can't flap them. I'm going to die. I'm gonna crash to the ground and die. Well, he comes gliding to a full stop in a pasture. And that's when he shifts his thoughts and he says, oh no, I'm gonna die right here in this pasture. I'm gonna freeze to death. This cow comes along and it's grazing in the grass, has no idea the bird's behind him or her, and takes a big steaming dump on the bird. And the bird's thinking, oh my gosh, how humiliating. I'm going to die in this pile. This is awful. Well, the warmth from the fecal matter, warmth from the droppings, warmed the bird's wings. Now the bird can move. And now the bird has restored hope. And he's thinking, this is great. All I got to do is wash this crap off of me. You know, I'll hop on down to a stream. I know I saw a stream nearby, or a lake. I'll just go down there, I'll bathe, I'll get all this crap off of me, and I'm back in business. I'm going south. So he is singing, he is happy, he is ready to go. A cat hears him, digs him out of the droppings, kills him, takes him over to the lake, washes him off, and proceeds to eat him. There are 3 morals to this story. Number 1, the person who shits on you is not necessarily your enemy. Number 2, the person who digs you out of shit is not necessarily your friend. And number 3, if you're happy, no matter where you are, and it's everything you thought it could be, learn to keep your beak fucking shut sometimes. I would like to thank you all for joining me. I know it was a little gross humor, but you get the point, and it perfectly encapsulates today's reading. You don't have to share everything, right? That's why you're feeling like something's stolen from you, because for some people it is. You are having things stolen from you. You're oversharing. You're throwing every thought out there, and then someone else is grabbing some of that, running with it as their own. Is it dishonest? Absolutely. But remember, you threw it out there. You didn't have to. If you had kept it to yourself and just worked on the idea yourself, eventually it would have come out and it would have been your idea. Right? Now you're going to have a harder time proving those swords were yours. So don't overshare. Don't overdo it. Meditate a little bit. Let the idea take form. Let it sharpen. That sort of thing. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up, and as always, shine on.